Ah, yes, hello! Delrun here again, and this time we will be discussing the gods and goddesses of my homeworld of Serisca. As I am not the head historian about this matter, I would like to instead have my colleague Elmer Donnus take the reins. He will guide you through a briefing of each of the main ones known. Hello there. My name is Elmer Donnus, and I am the lead religious historian. I will be talking about the 5 divines today, as well as a couple of other gods. Oh, there is a lot of you. I, however, will not be talking about the old gods very much, as their worship has been outlawed, and they were quite detestable. You see, centuries ago, before the War of the Gods, there were many gods, too many, in some opinion, who had overlapping domains that often fought over control. This, as you imagine, caused many problems for us mortals. Thankfully, the Sosalian pantheon has righted this. Right, so on to the first one. Sosalis, the goddess of creation. Her domains are of life, knowledge, and death. Sosalis is who our world is named for, as she created it and all that dwells within it. It is said that at the beginning there were 2 cosmic forces, one of the chaos and one of order, and these 2 cosmic forces smashed together constantly until the sparks from it birthed Sosalis. With her great power, she took the 2 forces and bent them to her will and gave them form. She used them to create the world, the stars, and even the other gods and goddesses. Sosalis is often praised by artists and creators who seek her blessings of inspiration. She is also the one who heads the current pantheon, as well as the one who led the War of the Gods that cut down many of the old gods. Asterisk, the golden sun. He warms us with his radiance every day. His domains are of life, light, and war. Asterisk is portrayed as an honorable lance-wielding knight, and was one of the 4 children birthed by Sosalis before the War of the Gods, and after it, he had his powers permanently linked with the golden sun. He was one of the main gods that did battle with Velth of the Pale Realm. It is said that his radiance pierced through Velth and sundered the foul creature. Asterisk is often seen as the older brother to the other gods and goddesses of the 5 divines, but as it turns out, they are all the same age. Asterisk has proclaimed that undead creatures are the bane and must be snuffed out, though I have heard whispers of 1 or 2 blood-drinking undead that Eris does not have domain over to order their deaths, as if they are protected by another god. Lipara, the vast sea. Lipara is the goddess of the sea and the wind. Her domains are tempest and nature. Good-aligned merfolk and sailors tend to worship her, though from what we've discovered, there are still quite a few old gods existing at the depths of the ocean, and that the war still wages on down there. Lipara did battle with many old gods during the war, sending massive waves crashing over islands and isles to wash away their followers, and even crushing one down to the darkest depths of the ocean. It is said that she may have a love with her sister Nalara, the goddess of the moon, as when the moon is full, the tide is much stronger. Modaris, the red sun. Appearing in the summer, as he slowly moves out from behind his larger brother, Modaris is red in color. His domains are arcana, trickery, and light, and was key in his brother's victory over Velth. Whereas Asterisk is often seen as hot-headed and headstrong, Modaris prefers to outthink his opponents and scheme. He had a significant role in the War of the Gods when he did battle with Flunith, the old god that is worshipped by the Drow of the Underdark. While Flunith did escape to the Underdark, Modaris had so soundly defeated her that he swore that any Drow that set foot upon the surface would feel his divine wrath. Excuse me, I've never done this in front of so many people before. Nalara, the radiant moon. With her domains in nature, protection, and trickery, Nalara is known as the goddess of hunts and harvests. Many years ago, Nalara sent 3 shards of her own form down to us mortals, landing them within the borders of the holy kingdom of Dharmas. This event was known as Moonfall, and the divine power from those 3 shards has made the harvests in that area much more bountiful. During the War of the Gods, Nalara used her bow to pierce the heart of Polugari the Devouring, and slayed the foul old god. Nalara did take great offense by the kingdom of Zelnir when they slaughtered her moon elves, and in revenge, for 20 years, if anyone attempted to sit upon the throne, they died. She has since forgiven them, but, right. So those are the 5 divines worshipped by the Church of the Sosalian Pantheon. Now, there are a few other gods recognized by the Church. The first, of course, is Eryx. Eryx is the god of hell. His domains are death and war. Eryx, from what we can tell, was originally one of the first archangels of heaven. However, he did fall at one point, but we cannot seem to determine as to why or when, unfortunately. He did, however, rise again and proclaimed himself as the god of hell after he had single-handedly defeated the other gods of hell, as well as forced the demon lords of hell to bend their knee to him. He is recognized by the other gods and has a seat amongst the pantheon, though his presence is a tentative one at best. Ugnar, the dwarven god of the forge, and referred to as the Sunhammer. Domains of light in the forge. Ugnar is one of the first dwarves ever created, along with his brother and fellow deity, Rowan. When his brother became corrupted by a being known as Lodar, Ugnar banished them both to the Underdark with the power of his hammer forged from sunlight. For this, Ugnar earned a divine spark and aided with the removing of the old gods when Sosalis first began the War of the Gods. Gruladar, the Platinum Dragon. I've met him, actually. It was a wonderful lecture by him. His domains are protection, life, and death. God of Dragons, a minor deity that aided Sosalis and Malanax. Gruladar is said to want stability in the world, and believed that Sosalis and Malanax could bring it. It was the reason why he aided them in the War of the Gods. It was Gruladar that commanded dragons to protect the mortals, but those who turned their backs on him became the chromatic dragons. Gruladar actually makes his nest in the mountains of Damas, where he also hosts a lovely clerical vacational place, from what I hear. I only heard his... right, moving on. Malanax. You just heard me mention his name. Malanax was father to Asdaris, Modars, Lepar, and Nalar. He was the god of madness and deceit, but since he has passed and he no longer exists, he has no domains. No one worships Malanax anymore, as after the War of the Gods, Sosalis shattered his very essence, and it is said that she used his essence to bind their 4 children to the suns, moons, and sea to solidify their powers. Harun, more of a force of nature than anything else. His domains are nature, protection, and grave. A deity that for the longest time has been worshipped by the wild elves of the forests. Harun would use their power to ensure good harvest and bountiful life in the forests. Often appears as a large deer standing roughly 8 to 9 feet tall, with a mossy hide around its neck as a mane, though its head is of a deer skull, and the antlers are tree branches with flowers and leaves growing out of them. No one knows what Harun wants or desires, simply that it goes where it desires, and only a fool would try to stop it. Well, that is all I have for today. I do appreciate every one of you listening to me. I do hope you enjoy this and wish to know more about our lovely little world of Serisca. If you want, you can send your questions in the comment area below about our world, and we here at the High Library of Valoria will do our best to answer your questions. I have to go now. Have a wonderful day.